Hey, I'm telling you, if you got that ooh-wee, I'm Mr. TMB.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
We
are back.
It's off panel, off topic.
When did you start doing it? Who made that decision?
I'm Tyler.
Episode 133. I'm Jake, and we still don't have a proper intro for the show.
That's part of the fun. Sometimes
you never know what's gonna. We were gonna stop singing this episode. You sucked me in.
Okay, so let's just
start it over. Start the show over.
Let's just address a couple complaints. Okay, let's just address.
I'm not gonna listen to the haters.
I'm not saying that we are,
okay.
But we have gotten comments about how much we sing, and I just want to say, why do you hate joy? You know, I mean,
you might as well just
singing is a pure form of it's a pure expression of joy.
You know what I feel like they would say back?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, because now I will snatch every motherfucker birthday.
That's probably what they would
That
say.
would be exactly what they would say. In that tone and everything.
They would suddenly turn into Steven Seagal with a shitty ponytail.
I'd be like,
Shitty
are you always
ponytail.
this fat?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Again, I shouldn't body shame, but this guy, he's a shitty person. Look. All right.
But it's off and off topic.
It is.
And that's
episode 133.
And honestly, again, we sing because we like to do it. And it might not sound great, but that's part of the fun. And if you're up for a ride through entertainment land with two of the funniest guys you know. Well,
and it might sound like
Real fucked up, kind of bizarre combination of monkey shit.
Yeah, also, can we do other
no,
drops?
it's just Steven Seagal.
Christ.
Or we could do the one we started with.
Hey, I'm telling you, if you got that ooh-wee, I'm Mr. TMB.
Which is going to be our new...
we've already... Yes.
That's going to be our new...
Yes.
If we... on our review scale.
And that's great segue, because we do have two things to review in a segment that I lovingly call... That we lovingly call...
No, we don't. I wish this segment would die.
Wow.
That's serious.
Here I am.
Hey, man.
What's in my mouth? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey, what's in my mouth?
We're singing again. You're singing.
Yeah. Technically. I mean, it's a recorder.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey.
All right. We could...
This is the best part.
Salty and sweet.
What's it taste like? Salty or sweet?
All right.
No, see, I go around and I go to various convenience stores because I smoke cigarettes
Wow.
and try to quit.
What kind of message are you sending the children?
What the fuck?
Please do not let your kids listen to this show.
Jesus, right? That's not my fault.
Yikes.
It's your fault. So I see various random things. I also work at a big box store and whatnot, so we get a lot of strange items in, food-wise. And I see these, and I'm like, oh, cool, what's in my mouth? And you're telling me you want this segment to die?
What was that all about? I was just joking, man.
Really?
Yeah. All right. What do you got?
So we got Doritos Dynamita sticks.
We should put timestamps when we do what's in my mouth for people that don't like to hear people eat. Should start doing that.
Smoky chili queso.
What's a dynamita?
We don't have to eat into the microphone.
Dynamita.
Dynamita.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. I'll take your word for it, I guess.
Based on my
What are
knowledge
they?
of Spanish, smoky chili queso and
Doritos.
crunchy sticks exploding with bold queso flavor and a smoky, spicy kick. So they're, I think they're kind of a Doritos answer to Takis. And again, we don't have to eat right in the microphone. I don't know when we decided we had to do that. We can just eat.
Well, one of us needs to get the ASMR people hard, and then the other one doesn't, so then those people can at least cover one ear.
First things first. These look like, kind of like, like that, right? They're actually like potato sticks. You ever had potato sticks? They're like,
they're called French fries.
no, I mean like in the can.
Yes.
Those things are fucking dangerous, dude. I'll eat the shit out of those things. So Dinamita, I got, ASMR hard people.
You added an extra ASMR hard people. What's the hard one? Like burping in. That wasn't a real burp. I was just kidding. I'm not unprofessional.
It was so lifelike and real. So let's just talk about. I think I like spicy stuff. Wow.
You think, or do you know?
I do, but then I always come across something where I'm like, no, I don't. Or not as much as I thought. These are on the medium Dinameter.
Too hot.
No, they're just, it's the smokiness, I think. You know what I mean? The spiciness itself is not bad. And by the way, you're doing the worst thing possible by drinking water.
It's not that bad for me. I'm a little bitch. Just kidding. I'll cut that.
Why?
Because
I want people to see what kind of man you really are, Jake.
I don't usually call you.
What goes on behind the
those
scenes?
names. It's a lot worse.
It's a lot worse.
No, I'm just kidding.
I
I know what you mean. Because
I don't think what.
some things. I tend to eat more spicy foods.
Yeah.
But even then, I can only handle so much.
Have you had the jalapeno ranch ruffles?
No.
Okay, I like those. They're spicy, but I can eat like a whole bag of them.
It's like jalapeno Cheetos aren't spicy at all. Like they get a little
jalapeno.
bit of spice.
Yeah. I don't know. Those ones a little
The
bit.
green bag, dude. Come on.
I can't really go more
That's
than
the
a
best flavor of Cheetos.
It's awesome.
I'll eat a whole fucking bag in one day. That's how much I love them. It's probably why my health is the way it is. You know.
You have some bad shits.
Yeah.
You know what your
All right,
shits
so
are.
what's
You know
your,
your shits are
what's
gonna
your
be.
rating? We're gonna. I think eat
wanna
your
use
ass
the
should still
sloppy.
be the top bar because that should be you're eating something. So I feel like that should stay where it is.
Okay.
And what's in my mouth? I like nice being medium,
Mm-hmm.
and is the worst one still gonna be sloppy?
Boo, fuck you.
Oh, boo, fuck you.
I think it should be worse for everything. Because it is the worst.
Okay. All right. So how do you feel about it? The Dorito Diamita spicy jalapeno.
I'm going to give it a nice.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
I liked it, but too smoky. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get heartburn from this shit. Now, granted, I'm almost 50, so that's kind of on me for being alive so long. And, but I don't think I could sit and eat a whole bag of these. I think I'd have to tap out after, like, a couple and eat some saltines or some shit. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Yeah. I'm stuck between eat your ass and nice because
Stuck between eat your ass and nice.
you do need to write that one down.
Oh my god. My next country hit.
Nice guys eat ass.
Nice guys may finish last, but they also eat ass.
You ruined it.
New single out February 24th.
Nice.
It's an in between. It's
Yeah?
not. It's not too bad, or it's not bad. It's not like blow my mind. It's
No.
okay.
It's the fact that I still got a little bit of hotness in my mouth still. Like minutes later. I still feel like I got that heat in my mouth.
That warm taste.
We're so fucking fucked up. I can't believe you're listening to this.
What do we got now, Chief? I meant to say, Chef.
Yes, chef.
This Chief.
Yes, chef.
So
So
I watched a lot of MasterChef lately. That's why.
yeah, me too.
Cause
No,
you
we're
saw
watching.
Me,
Hell's Kitchen.
Mm.
Hell's Kitchen, which is fun.
You watched Next Level Chef? I've been watching
I
that.
like the concept. I've watched episodes of it, or I've watched bits of it. It's a fun concept.
I like Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay's the shit.
And when you
dude.
watch his shows,
I got what I paid for.
Have you ever?
All right.
Has he ever done Saturday Night Live?
No, but
should.
we should do Tricks Loaded.
So the next thing we have is Tricks Loaded. Now they have 3 different types from General Mills. General Mills felt, you know what? Kids are not getting enough sugar in their cereal, so we need to find a way to get more sugar into their breakfast cereal so that they can be fucking hyped up and pay
Ready
for all
to-
these drugs that we have stock in
Whoa, I was
these
gonna
pharmaceutical
say,
companies.
get ready for school.
And it's a vicious cycle.
Okay.
So Trix, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Cocoa Puffs. I thought Cocoa Puffs would be like a chocolate cream filling. But no, they're all vanilla cream filling. I don't know why you want a vanilla cream fill fucking
Anything.
Cinnamon Toast. Sure. That's fair. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't like that at all.
Cocoa Puffs in this I can understand.
Sure, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is fucking dust. You know, okay, you ever had Cinnamon Toast when
we
you were a
just
kid?
eat the
No, will
fucking
you just
cereal?
let me do a thing, please, for once?
For once.
For once. So, you ever had like cinnamon toast when you were a kid, and you'd eat the cinnamon toast, and on the plate after you're done is all the crumbs and the leftover
Soggy
cinnamon
bread.
dust and shit. It's not soggy unless you're spitting on your bread. What the fuck are you doing? Do you eat like an insect? I cover it in acid and then I slurp up
It's
the
French toast.
gruel.
It's toast.
French
Oh,
toast.
you're saying cinnamon toast, aren't you?
Cinnamon toast,
I'm thinking
yeah.
of French toast crunch. Can we move on?
No,
Let's talk about the fucking cereal we're supposed to eat. Come on.
So that's all you have left.
Oh my
is
god.
crumbs and cinnamon toast dust. And fucking General Mills found a way to package that shit and sell it back to you. Fucking
Why do you do this?
fuckers.
This was such a fun segment,
know.
and then you ruined it.
I didn't ruin it. It's fun.
You did not for you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Go Hagen. Okay, so we got Tricks Loaded with vanilla cream filling.
buddy.
Yeah. You ain't lying. So, anyway, Tricks Loaded, and of course the dogs now around here going, hey, 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 you got food? I thought that we would, when I brought these over the first time,
Just open the bag into the mic.
I thought that we would have like a bowl of cereal and we would have like a couple
Oh my
spoonfuls
God.
and whatnot.
What do you think milk grows on trees?
I would have brought some milk. Jesus Christ! First of all, they're way bigger than I thought. I thought they were.
That's what she said.
Well, they're filled with vanilla cream.
Can I have some cereal, sir?
Look at these fucking
This is a
things.
dry test, and then later
Yeah.
we'll do a wet test.
Why? Okay.
Nobody's gonna find this funny, but you put the whole.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You kind of just get hit with that cream right away.
I want some milk right now. Holy shit. Give me some fucking whole milk and a bowl. And a spoon. God damn.
Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it unanimously.
I'll eat your ass.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and can we put on top of that a Mr. Ooey?
Oh fuck yeah!
Hey, I'm telling you, if you got that ooh wee, I'm Mr. TMB.
Oh fuck yeah! Wow, wow, these are really fucking good.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I'm gonna stop. This is a post-show treat.
No, they make it look like I bit mine in half. They make it look like the cream is just oozing the fuck out.
Well, I mean,
It's not.
reality is often disappointing.
The dog is super excited. It's not just oozing out. It's kind of like more like I don't know, but yeah, this is fucking on time, dude. Holy shit.
On time. All right. Well, let's move on. All right, Tyler. So let's jump into the news.
Yes.
So normally we don't cover. We've talked about pro wrestling on the show. People that listen to the show know I watch it.
We fucking went to WWE Monday Night Raw, baby.
Which I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if you saw the news. I think yesterday. We're recording this on Wednesday. That WWE reached a new deal with Netflix. So January 2025 is when they will be. So the way I understand it is that they're going to stream WWE Raw exclusively on Netflix. So it's not going to be on cable anymore. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to turn down my phone. So I think this is going to be a broader topic to talk about. So yeah, the WWE Monday Night Raw is going to be on Netflix. The deal is valued at $500 million per year for 10 years.
So it's
for a total of $5 billion.
So it's going to be live on Netflix?
Yes. That's my understanding. They're just going to stream it live like you would see it on TV, but exclusively on Netflix. And I think this is a good thing. And I also could see how I think it's an overall good thing, and I think it'll be interesting. Because WWE, their current streaming, they don't have like a streaming service that like they'll put Raw up on Peacock because Peacock carries all their.
So how
like,
soon before Netflix cancels WWE Monday Night Raw? Because they fucking
can't,
cancel
though.
fucking everything.
They can't until at least 5 years. So
Oh.
the Netflix has the option to opt out after the initial 5 years, and they can extend for additional 10 years if they want.
So just for all of you who are not aware of how much money $1 billion is, 5 years, 500 million each, or did you say 10?
500 million per 10 years.
For 10 years,
For 10 years, yeah.
that's $5 billion. That's how much $1 billion is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
$5 billion.
Yeah.
10 years.
Disney bought
500 million
Tyler,
would be fine for me for life.
Disney bought
And I'd have plenty left over.
Disney bought Star Wars
Yeah.
for $4 billion. And this is just to have streaming rights. They don't own anything from the WWE.
Yeah.
And that's because WWE, when they did the whole TKO merger with the UFC, it's the two biggest combat sports and sports entertainment companies, wrestling, whatever you want to call it. And you're seeing like this is how much they're valued, where Netflix is getting in bed with them for $5 billion, and they don't even own the IP. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
But it's also a sign that cable's dead, because what is USA going to do? Yes, they've had a few successful shows, but it's always because they had the Monday Night Raw lead-in.
Yeah.
Every Monday they had that guarantee, or because they advertise their shows so much on Monday Night Raw that you'd be like, "Oh, Psych is on," or whatever.
Like USA
Or White
finds
Collar or whatever the
somewhere
fuck.
they find like $5 billion. Say they do, okay, $5
Yeah.
billion to keep Monday Night Raw for the next 10 years. Why? You know how much shit you'd have to mortgage up to get that much just to keep that shit.
And that's the thing. How is Netflix going to measure
It's
that
probably
metric
easier.
of streams?
Who owns USA Network now anyway? Is it?
It's Universal.
And they okay.
And so so Peacock, as
Time
far
to fold up shop,
as-
motherfucker.
and here's another crazy fucking thing about what Netflix is doing with Raw
Mm.
is they just want that weekly programming. They want that weekly live programming, and they're willing to spend all this money. Here's a really fucking crazy thing. As far as I know, Peacock still has the rights to stream the random specials that they have, or whatever they call them, premium live events now. They used to call them pay-per-views. They have those almost every month. Like, they're getting... Netflix isn't getting that. They're just getting the show. That's it. And then when that deal's done, WWE's probably going to retain their rights and put it on fucking Peacock, all the old episodes, all the archived episodes. It's just insane, like, how valued WWE is in this. That's a ton of money. $5 billion. Amount of money most people will never see in their lives for a weekly show. Crazy.
Yeah, good for them.
I do think it's a good thing, because now we're kind of sending signs of like, oh, we are going to commit to maybe being more. We're not going to need cable TV anymore. Because
I'm surprised, like when I have my ESPN fantasy football like app or whatever, and it's like watch live on the app, and you try, and it's like, who's your cable provider? I'm like, who the fuck? This is 2024.
That's what I mean. This should.
I don't have a cable. And how the fuck does ESPN not have a streaming app like on my Roku TV? Like I still have to have a cable provider to use that.
yeah.
That is fucking asinine. And doesn't Disney own ABC and ESPN?
Yes.
The fuck? What is fucking wrong with them?
I've been saying this for years when streaming was starting to take off. I've been saying it like there needs to be some sort of Netflix for sports. There needs to be something where you can just – and I understand the advertising money, but I'm going to be honest. The only time I ever pay attention to ESPN or watch anything on ESPN, it is just for football games.
Mhm.
I don't – like I'll watch – if Nebraska's on there usually, but if it's usually Fox. But my point is that like it still doesn't just as much as I want to watch my team, it doesn't justify spending $80 to $100 a month. It just doesn't.
No. And you always have to get a package to get ESPN in with the cable.
And you
so
do
fuck
like
that
YouTube
shit.
TV, and that's still like $70-$80.
Yeah, fuck that shit. And it's just back in the day when I was growing up and whatnot, like SportsCenter was appointment television.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd replay it like 4 or 5 times overnight, but
I used to watch it every day before school.
yeah. I mean, it was something you did, and you saw and it was what you did. It was
Yeah.
like Saturday Night Live a little bit, like it was every.
It was
or The Simpsons every Sunday. Like you watch these things because that's
But
what
now,
you were doing.
but now I can just look at highlights on Twitter. Or YouTube.
My mom is watching Only Murders in the Building season 1 on ABC because they have no original programming yet.
Oh yeah.
Or they do now, I think. This is donut. Or they do now, but like they started playing it on ABC to not only retain the viewers to that shitty channel.
All ABC is the fucking The Bachelor and
What's theirs? So
what's another one?
So
I mean,
Paramount is CBS, Peacock is NBC. What's ABC's?
Disney Plus.
Okay. Yeah, fair. Okay.
All right. Anyway,
And then Fox
And
doesn't
that's the
really
thing.
have one,
See,
do they?
Di-
Or is it
but-
Hulu?
but see, Disney Plus was
well,
dabbling.
Fox is owned by Disney. What the fuck am I talking
Disney
about?
Plus was dabbling into live stuff because they would live stream Dancing with the Stars on Disney Plus.
Well, they did the smart thing, and they hooked up with Taylor Swift. They were like, "Hey, let us do all your live shit and all your stuff."
All right. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it because it is a huge deal, not just for wrestling, but just
God, that makes me
sports
so sick to be poor.
and streaming and
Hearing this
in
shit just
general.
makes me feel so sick to be poor in this world.
Also, The Rock joined the board of directors for TKO, which
Oh,
is
yippity skippity.
good for him.
More money for him?
Yeah,
Good. Because he needs it.
he does.
Yeah.
You don't become Dwayne The Rock Johnson without spending some money, okay? And don't you ever slander Dwayne on this show ever again. You hear me?
What about our Black Adam review? Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. That's what I
Next-
fucking thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you and I have talked about this before. The only awards that fucking matter are the OPOTs, all right? But, and usually we haven't really talked about the Oscars ever because I don't really give a shit normally.
neither.
But I just think this story is kind of insane. In just how this whole thing
Is this
came to be.
about the Ken?
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of this on Twitter.
Well, I just
But
yeah.
go ahead.
So yeah, with the Oscars, Barbie gets nominated for Best Picture, which
Yep.
is fucking crazy.
Awesome.
Ryan Gosling is nominated for Best Supporting Actor for being Ken, but Greta Gerwig did not get Best Director.
How the fuck?
and Margot Robbie did not get Best
How
Actress. Excuse me.
The fuck?
The whole point
How
of the movie.
the fuck? Yes.
How could it be Best Picture with
Every
the
tweet I
themes?
saw was like, "This is literally the plot
This
of
is
the movie."
the movie.
Way to go, Hollywood! You fucking dipshits.
And I want to be very clear. I don't really care that much about the Academy Awards or the
No.
Oscars or whatever. I don't. Because it doesn't dictate whether I like a movie or not, or a show or whatever, And this doesn't change my opinion on this because I don't really care who wins Best Picture.
Was
I
it
don't really care
2 years
who's-
ago now that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock? Was it 2 years ago now? Or
Yeah.
last year.
2 years.
See, I don't even
I was
remember
in the
last year's.
hospital
I don't care.
because that happened the night before my son was born.
Oh.
That's how I
Really?
Yeah. So and I was like, son, you live in a world where Will Smith just slapped Chris Rock, is what I told him.
He's gonna remember that.
I hope. He's older. Did you mention this when I was a baby? Yeah.
For some reason, I feel a real tie to this weird
This whole
pop culture
weird-
event.
Yeah, that happened decades
It's
ago.
kind of a throwaway one
Yeah.
now. 20 years
Nobody
later.
cares. Those guys are long dead. It's like 30 years from now, you know.
You're on your deathbed.
No, but I just want to talk about this topic because, yeah, it's totally against the theme of the movie. Or why is it he gets the nomination as the supporting actor for this movie? First of all, it's insane on their metric of they're like,
almost
the
every
prestige of the Oscars. where
almost every
this movie's in Best Picture.
But
That's
almost
nuts.
but almost every movie that is up for like Best Picture, the principals involved are up for the other ones.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's always best.
like
yes,
Saving
almost
Private Ryan.
Always it's best
Picture.
director, best
Steven
yeah.
Spielberg, best actor, best director. Tom Hanks, best
This also
actor.
got nominated for adapted screenplay, which I think is silly because it's adapted from nothing. It's a toy, but it's like so they'll throw them in that category, but they won't acknowledge the direction. There's also I think it's also up for set design, which I think it should win. The design of the Barbie world is incredible.
I think it's a movie called This Film Is Not Yet Rated, I think. And it's a documentary, and it's all about the MPAA
Yeah.
and their
I've
bullshit
seen it,
board.
yeah.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. I don't know if that's still the way it is, and I know that at least half of the people that they doxed in that documentary, because they did, they basically found out who was on the board, and it was like a ton of fucking old white people. Because they were supposed to be in secret. So that's fucked up. What the fuck? Why are you in secret?
yeah,
It's weird.
but
Um,
I just I want to know
those
who,
people are long
I want to
dead
know who
at this
these
point.
voters are and who
shitheads.
these people
I don't
are.
know, but
G-
dumb.
Ryan Gosling even came out and said that he thought it was ridiculous. Like he defended those. He goes, I would not be in this position to be up for this award without those two. And I like again. I
Wasn't
it's hard to
Margot
say no.
Robbie a producer? on it?
Yes, and Greta Gerwig co-wrote the script with her husband. So it's again, I don't try and put too much behind these awards, but it's like for people that do care about that, some of these actors care about this, like they do, and there's some people that do care about this, and I can see their frustration.
Has Margot Robbie won an Oscar?
Um,
I'm sure she's been
I
up
think
for
if
one.
she,
Why don't we look it up?
I don't want to
Well, you can look it up, and I'll talk about.
because
I think it was for Wolf of Wall Street, wasn't it?
yeah, I wanted to see if she won for that because that what I thought it was gonna be.
I just want to see if she's won one. She should have. God damn it. Speaking of strong female actors, strong presences, strong screen presence. I'm really excited for the Furiosa movie. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
America Ferrera also got nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
America Ferrera.
Yeah, she's in the Barbie movie.
Oh yeah.
Again, and America Ferrera, who's good in that movie, she gets nominated, but the lead doesn't get nominated,
Yeah, it makes no sense.
and the director doesn't get
Like
nominated.
nobody sits around, like nobody gets them all together and goes, "Hey, this is wrong," before they announce them.
It just shows you how silly these
Has
things
Margot
are.
Robbie
And
won an Academy Award?
My frustration, I don't know, and no, she has not won an Oscar or an Academy Award, whatever you want to call
yeah,
it. But
she's been nominated 3 times. I looked it up.
yes, you did.
I want to get home and eat this Tricks Loaded.
You can eat it here, you know. We could share a bowl together. Put 2 spoons in it.
2 scoops. Hey, real quick. Are we done talking about the Barbie thing?
I just kind of wanted to just again, my frustration is not that they were snubbed because I don't particularly care about it, but I am frustrated for the people that worked hard on this movie and wanted to get the acknowledgement from their peers, and where you look at what it did as a movie to be nominated for Best Picture, to be the highest grossing movie of the year, being one of like the first female director to have it. Did it make $1 billion? I think it made $1 billion. Yeah, like it.
It goes to show you that nothing's really changed that much.
No, and it just sucks for them. For me, I just think
Were there
it's
any
silly.
female directors nominated?
I don't know, and I'm not going to look it up.
I know.
because if
I'm just curious because I want to know.
I mean I don't know, but at least Barbenheimer has a chance to sweep some awards because
Oppenheimer, I'm sure,
was
was
Best Picture, Best Director. I think it was might have been Best Screenplay, but I could be wrong.
You know, it'd be awesome if Christopher Nolan wins it and he's like, I'm not
giving this to.
No, I'm giving this back to give it to Greta Gerwig. She
and
earns
then
this.
he goes to drop the mic and he says,
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Just walks off stage.
Nobody's like, what?
What the fuck?
Christopher Nolan's on
Christopher Nolan's on drugs?
All right, one more
bit of butts.
News headline before we do our brand new segment. So, I didn't know about this, but there was a J.J. Abrams superhero movie, or Superman movie, that was in the works with DC.
I thought so.
And somebody asked him on
this.
Threads, because he was doing like a Q&A on Threads, asked him if it was still in development, and he said yes. James Gunn did say that. I guess he talked about this last year, and I must have missed it, because I don't remember any sort of story behind this. But he did talk about it. So James Gunn said, quote, Superman Legacy and Abrams Superman movie are totally unrelated. That's an exciting movie. I know that, is it Chantal Nong, who is the executive on that project, is extremely excited about it. So if it comes in and it's great, which I haven't read the script, and if the timing's right, that could absolutely happen. That's totally unrelated. It would be an Elseworlds tale like Joker, which we knew that he was already doing that with the Batman Part 2 and with Joker. So put aside that it's J.J. Abrams, because I know how much you like him. What do you think of the idea that, like, okay, they are going to commit to doing Elseworlds movies and standalone movies?
Are you trying to tell me that there's going to be like 2 different Superman movies?
Yeah. Why are you upset?
I'm not upset. Just why? There's
Why
so
not?
many other characters.
I know, but and that's the thing. Maybe it changes. Maybe JJ gets a different project and it's not Superman or some other thing, you know. But I don't see the problem in it, because you do realize in a couple of years.
I don't have a problem with them being 2 Supermans.
but here's
and
the
like
thing.
one is like the main DCU and the other one is
I think
that?
it would be smart to get on it now, because in a few years, I think 2034, Batman will become public domain.
Oh.
Superman's going to become public domain. Wonder Woman's going to become public domain. So we're going to see more of that. You're going to see the fucking Pooh Bear, Blood and Honey kind of movie with Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman now. We kind of talked about with Steamboat Willie a few weeks ago.
Jesus.
But think about that. Like, maybe they're just trying to get ahead of the curve and be like, this is just kind of when it's going to be now, because more people are going to have access to the characters.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure, whatever. Fair enough.
But you're upset because it's J.J. Abrams.
No, I'm not.
You know what I thought it was going to be, or I thought they were going to do, is because remember they talked about the Michael B. Jordan movie?
Yeah.
Where he's a different Kryptonian, he's not Kal-El. It's in the comics.
He's from an alternate universe.
I'm looking it up.
He's the president of the United States, and he's also Superman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I read a comic with him in it. I can't remember, but he's apparently, as far as I remember, it was a Grant Morrison, I thought, creation or a story. I think Grant Morrison wrote it.
Val Zod
Yeah.
is who it was going to be. Val Zod.
Yeah.
But, again, I still want that, and I still would like that.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those people.
I
and
also want, what's his name's fucking Plastic Man movie? The guy who played...
Ben Schwartz?
Yes. Where the fuck is that?
I want to say that I kind of see where you're coming from, too, with, like, why do we have another Superman
I just don't want them coming out at the same time.
Or I like the idea of that, because I remember when this first got announced, they were implying that he'd be Clark Kent, and I'm like, why are we doing like a weird reboot, a weird like multiverse like thing, and then they're like, oh no, it's gonna be Val Zod, it's gonna be a different character. I'm like, okay, that's more interesting, because and it's not because they're race swapping, it's because like, can we just have one Clark for right now and stick with it? You know what I mean? And then, yes, find other characters in the lore because there's so many fucking characters in that universe, in Marvel and DC. It's like, you don't need to keep... And I understand we keep running into this with its brand recognition. It's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are their most popular characters. They're gonna make the most sure money. I mean, they've tried and flopped with Shazam and Blue Beetle and and it's a fine line because you can only go so obscure because the mainstream audience is just not going to care.
Sure.
And you saw that with Blue Beetle. I think a
Sure.
lot of it was people just didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't. Blue Beetle doesn't have the same
It does, yeah.
as Spider-Man. Sorry.
So
They're both insect-related characters.
From that aspect, I understand why
Some scientists would be like, actually, the spider is part of the arachnid and the beetle is a bird, and I'd be like, fuck it. What?
But at the same time, I would understand why they're like, we want to do a Clark Kent Superman movie instead of Val Zod or whatever, because people don't know about Val Zod.
What's the genus of the beetle? What's the genus of the spider? I'll bet you they're different.
Wow. I don't know. But now we add to the fact that it's J.J. Abrams. How do you feel about that? Please tell me it's not Superman Flyby, that script that he wrote a long time ago. Do you remember
was that again? Didn't we talk about that?
Because that was before Superman Returns.
We talked about
that. It was
that.
like 2003, I think. We had talked about that we were going to... I have the script, but we never worked on it.
That's not the Nick Cage one. That one was...
That's Superman Lives.
Yeah.
But Superman Flyby, one of these days we'll have to cover it. But
okay. Yeah. I don't have a I just think J.J. Abrams is kind of like, I like stuff so much that I just copy it. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be too much like Christopher Reeves. I'm like, aren't we kind of going for that tone with James' movies? So like,
he would make the Richard Donner Superman movie over, but it
like
would
The
be,
Force Awakens.
but it would be slightly darker
and a lot more lens flare. Yeah. All right.
and the effects would be better because it's 2024. But the story would be worse because J.J. Abrams.
You just can't help yourself.
Listen. No, look. I love Iron Maiden, dude. I love Iron Maiden. I love me some Iron Maiden. I'm going to see Iron Maiden in October in Twin Cities. I'm really excited about it. I love them. I've always wanted to make an Iron Maiden album, but can I? No, because I'm not Iron Maiden. Okay, JJ, you're not Gene. You're not George. Okay.
Wow.
You're not Richard.
Whoa.
You're not Christopher.
Don't you say it.
And you're no fucking Marty Scorsese, okay?
You're not even Greta.
You're not. You're certainly no Greta.
Just tying it back into the last topic.
Thanks. Look at you.
Look at me hosting.
What's going on, hosting Steve? Singing
I'm gonna
again.
I'm gonna get the squirt bottle.
Huh. Fuck you.
No music.
You know what?
No singing.
You know what? And I'm gonna do exactly what my old cat used to do when I would squirt her when she would do stuff wrong. Yeah. And just be like, what the fuck? Is that water? What the fuck? Are you serious? Man, it's not even like acid or something. I'm not moving. Fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sloppy.
You all right?
I had to burp. Sorry. Tried to move away from the mic.
Well, Tyler, drum roll, please.
Whoa.
It's a new segment.
Uh-oh. Ah, fuck.
So, for a while ago,
Mhm.
my previous job, some of the perks were there'd be promotional things that they would just be giving out, and they would just give out extras. And I found the most random Blu-rays I could find, and I'm like, we're gonna do these on the show for some reason.
Yeah.
So the three options that I had were season 5 of The Flash from the CW, season 7 of Arrow,
From the CW as well.
and the final season of Gotham
From Fox.
from Fox. Yeah,
And we
two Blu-rays, one DVD.
So we looked at it and we realized we're like, okay, now just because we're doing it this one time doesn't mean like that's it. But to choose the first one, the criteria we used is that Jake had, I think, 3 seasons of experience with Arrow.
I watched 2 seasons of
Okay,
Arrow,
but
probably.
I only
Very
watched
little.
basically 1.5 of Gotham. But basically,
And I'd only watched a handful of episodes of The Flash.
Right, and I've seen bits and pieces of the Flash show, and I've never seen Arrow. So we kind of looked at it and said, I have a lot with this, so no, and he has a lot with this, so no. So it basically comes down to the Flash, and we did a random number generator.
So there's 24 episodes. Yep. So we did 1 to 24. We landed on episode 15 of season 5. And
what's this segment called, Jake?
I think I already said it.
I don't think we did.
It's the Out of Context Review.
Yeah.
Out of Context Review.
Context Reviews.
No, I was going to go.
Out of Context
Review.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't think I'll ever top that. I need to look up the title of this episode, but
it's Gold-Faced.
Gold-Faced?
Yes.
That's just the
I
title.
remember I looked it up, and it
Yes.
is Iris and somebody, Barry? Iris and Barry something is the episode synopsis. Are you going to look it up and tell us what the episode synopsis is?
Yes.
Do the IMDb, man. Fuck. Well, no, we don't want to know that much about it. It was like a 1-sentence synopsis on the DVD. That's all we need. We don't want any more than that.
Wait, are you sure about that?
What?
Because the way that this is talking...
That's what I looked up in the DVD thing.
Okay. Maybe I'm on the wrong season because this is a different description. But the point
is...
is...
the season has Impulse on it on the cover. The girl in purple.
Okay. Well,
So
either
that's
way...
That's not the one you're looking at.
Yeah. We're just going to... We have the episode ready. We're going to watch it. And again, the whole fun of the Out of Context Review is going to be that we have really not watched anything before to give any context at all to what we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to rate it on the episode itself.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also going to talk about... We're going to predict where we think the rest of it will go, but we'll never know because we're just going to randomize.
We're not going to watch. Yeah,
we're never going to watch we're going to watch the whole seasons, but never in order. And over several years.
Going to be a long 52 weeks.
I'm saying several years. We don't have to do it every week, every month, every day,
Are
every
you
hour,
sure?
every minute.
Are you sure?
All right. Well, we're going to go watch this episode.
We're going to go. Yeah, take a little break.
If you want to watch along, remember it's The Flash season 5 episode 15. So we'll see you on the other side.
Let's make sure because you looked up season.
So Tyler,
it must be the font in the DVD materials that I thought that was 15.
The random number generator spit out the number 15.
Yes.
Tyler was looking up episode 13. So actually what we'll be doing is episode 15, which we kind of hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
Because it's King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd
That's
is the name
fucking
of the
awesome.
episode.
That is awesome.
And wow,
we're
just
gonna
kind
eat
of
this
fell
box
into
of
it.
Tricks Loaded while we're watching it.
Yeah. Cross promotion. Get it in ya.
Get it in your mailbox.
Arnie?
Stick around.
All right, we are back.
Guess I fell in love with the shark man that I fucked.
Really?
That's the episode title of the show that we watched, apparently.
Well, because wow, okay. So this
A little bit of context.
no Out of Context Review.
Yeah, see, that's exactly it.
Which was a lot of fun to watch this episode because we were both being like, "What? What?"
Every once in a while, we would turn to each other and be like, "I don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
Like, well, out of context.
That's the fun of the show. So, this is maybe this is episode 17, maybe this is episode 15.
We've
I don't
seen
know.
it.
There's
Yeah, in the DVD materials, it's
Excuse
episode
you.
17.
Blu-ray materials,
Yeah, okay. I did notice.
home video.
Is that how I could tell that the effects were kind of slipshod? Because it was Blu-ray.
Yeah, the high definition doesn't help.
No, granted, I think all in all, the effects were pretty good.
So anyway, we landed
For a
on
TV show.
the episode King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd.
Mm-hmm.
And so season 5, episode 15 or 17, who fucking knows. Again, pretty much no context at all.
We even skipped the recap. because there's a recap at the beginning.
Good Lord, is every recap at the beginning of an episode that long? It was like 2 minutes.
Dude, first, okay, having never watched the Flash show, I was first of all taken aback by, and maybe it's because it was in season 5. I know they did Crisis, which
This is this season.
oh, okay,
The
well,
Crisis thing.
all I know is that, I mean,
pretty
everybody in this show is far too laissez-faire with the fact that there's like multiple realities, like way too. Way too.
'Cause they've-
This lady is helping this King Shark guy who is a doppelganger of her dead husband from Earth 2. And it's like,
What?
guess I fell in love with the shark man that I fucked. I'm going to sing it every 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's my single coming out in February.
that's what's so weird is, yeah. And we also are talking about the fact that in this Flash team, Nora Allen from the future
Yeah.
is in this. So he's with his daughter
From the future.
from the future.
And Vibe is there. And then some douchebag in a little hat.
Well, he is
Reverse Flash, I thought.
He has been, yes. And so I'm assuming this is a different version
I
of
guess.
him. Because he's got a weird accent.
Yeah, he's French
And
or
a
something.
fedora and a weird wig.
And what's her name? Killer Frost is apparently like a double personality.
She's like living inside that one girl
I don't know.
lady.
Sure.
It was weird. And
So
I didn't know
that's-
they all had powers. Because I think
Right,
at the
that's-
beginning they didn't. And then they slowly got powers throughout the show. I don't
guess
know. It's
so.
out of context.
I do remember like reading. I do remember reading about these shows throughout the years and reading like about the Crisis and reading because remember I used to one of my go-to websites was CBR.com.
Yeah.
Comic book resources. And I can't remember the last time I was on that website or crack.com. I used to go to
use
those
it
sites.
sometimes for prep.
Well, I used to go to those sites all the time, and I would just see like headlines, and it would kind of tell me what's going on, sort of in the Flash shows and the Arrow verse, as it was called, and whatnot. So I kind of do have a little bit of context from that, but it struck me how everything was really dramatic. You know, even the jokes were like, yeah, that's right.
It was. I said it was a superhero soap opera.
It is. There was a point where there's 4 people in a room, and the first person says something, then they turn to the next person, they say the next thing, and then the third, and then they end on the Flash, and he's looking
control
off
the
into
whole
the
city.
distance. He could control the whole city, and it was like, wow, Days of Our Lives.
So the episode is about they're trying
40 minutes long.
Cicada is the big bad this season.
I guess.
I don't know. Also, it is funny because it's written. It's written like a weekly episodic show,
Yeah.
so they understand that some people might not know what the hell they're talking about. Because at one point, Iris's dad, he's talking to her. He's like, "So apparently, you guys were stuck in a time loop."
Yeah, and it was like,
And again, even in that moment, he is so used to it, living in Central City
Yeah.
and the multiverse shit, where he's like, "So you were in a time loop? I get it."
so yeah,
fucking happens.
I happened to me. I was taking a shit this morning and got stuck in a time loop.
Which is so weird about this world, but it's
See,
so
these are the
funny
types
to me.
of shows. These types of shows that are so intertwined, like not sitcoms, not like 30-minute sitcoms. Although Arrested Development would be a good show for this type of segment. But yeah, these types of shows that are like really dense and like you can't just
can't do
jump
it.
into a show.
No, this is why it's
This
fun.
is why it's fun, dude. Because it's like, huh?
Because half the time you and I are trying to and that's what we intended this to be. Because we were trying to like, first of all, we predicted it straight out the gate.
Yeah.
So it is written in such a traditional superhero style that I knew every single beat that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, because they're trying to find this cure for cicada, but they're not gonna use it as a weapon. They want to test it out." King Shark is Shay something,
Lamb, yeah.
and he was hanging out with the marine biologist that was married to a dead version of him in another universe.
Yes. Right?
And-
Already, does your head hurt?
Yes. And so they can communicate, but he's got to wear the special crown that can hear their thoughts, and
Right.
it's like
and
a
his
psychic thing.
feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
and he runs away, and they have to
freaks
catch
out.
him.
So I know the episode title is King Shark versus Gorilla Grodd. So I'm like, well, obviously Gorilla Grodd's mind controlling him, or
Yeah.
trying to, or whatever.
And also, yeah. So,
But then they cure him, and he turns into a human. And I go, he's gonna be. You and I both were like, he's gonna be a shark by the end of this episode.
he's not gonna fight him with his mind.
It's the most.
I'm a dude, and I'm gonna fight a 800-pound gorilla.
Which is funny about it.
Torn apart.
And we're not. I want to make it very clear. We're not docking the shows at all for having their own continuity and their own serialization. And like the fun of this and the silliness is, like you said, you can't really watch these shows in a bottle. You can't.
No.
I think they're like, I don't know. I feel like they've said in the past there's a few episodes that are kind of like bottleneck episodes, but
sure. I mean, every show
but
when
this
you have 24 episodes
this
to
is
fucking watch.
tied to Arrow and
Or
tied to all this other stuff.
In fact, one point they referenced Oliver Queen. Oh.
You know, I would love to try and do an out of context review for Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Because I've heard that one's actually fun. No, I will say this. This show is not like, it's okay. It's a very okay show. I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad, but there are definite levels to it, and it's like, this was clearly a show made for a CW audience.
Yes.
It's clearly made to be...
It's young, good-looking people.
A younger, more broad version of the character, right? But at the same time, it's weird because there's so much gobbledygook dialogue in this, where it's like all this really nerdy shit that when you think about it, it's like they're just throwing shit together.
Yeah, they don't even know the words they're talking about.
And I'm not. It's part of the genre. I'm not hating on it for that either. I'm just saying it's like, it's funny that it's written in two ways. Where one is trying to be as broad as an audience as possible, but then also have this like just nonsense dialogue. And some of the lines, I was like, oof, that's a CW line. Like, it's a superhero soap opera.
Yeah.
That being said, I think the effects for the budget of the show aren't that bad.
The effects are pretty good for the budget.
There's a couple shots where like, yeah, this is a cheap,
Sure, when it was raining and Grodd was on the top of the
Well,
crane.
and that's the thing. This is the 5th season of the show. They understood that, like, okay, if we're going to do it in a lower light. And then, yes, we'll have it rain. So, because King Shark's going to look better with water on him. So let's have it rain. And, and I get it. I understand those choices. And honestly, the fight between Gorilla Grodd and King Shark didn't look that bad.
No, it was pretty good.
It's a pretty solid looking fight.
Pretty solid looking
I was
fight.
able to see everything.
There were clearly a lot of I would guess, I don't want to say clearly, but I would guess that there were a lot of practical things that were done, and then they CGI'd stuff into those, like they actually like knocked down like a fence. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but I'm willing to bet that some of the things were practical. That makes it look that'll make your effects look better if you have a completely CGI'd character and you have them knock down a wall that's also CGI. That's really fucking fake. But if you can somehow like have something go through that wall, like a real built wall, and film that and then CGI something into it, that looks way cool.
Yeah.
That looks way more real. And that's the like when they were falling through the floors, that looked like they did something.
Yeah, that looked a little bit more practical.
Right. And then they just CGI'd in the shit afterwards. Like they dropped like a big heavy weight.
And honestly, the big scene where Barry and Nora are running together and it's like slow motion for a little bit, I didn't think it looked bad. I thought it looked okay.
I think they had some stock footage that they reused from time to time when they show them running through the city.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had no problem with that because it helps save the budget.
And I don't mind the top-down shots of him like bolting around.
Not at all.
I understand because you're trying to save money, and it's like there's an easy way to show
fucking
passage.
Cheap as fuck, dude.
Easy way to show passage of time, and I can follow it. I know but like some of those shots are fine. And there's some shots like when King Shark grabs
Vibe.
It's like oof. Yeah, but
little rough. But
again, you also have to think this is a CW show on a CW budget.
What's your level of like disbelief? And your level of disbelief is a lot lower.
It's just the show is so. I think it's too corny. I think for me, and
I can't do like I had I lived with somebody who watched a lot of NCIS.
Yes, it's got those kind of vibes. Yeah.
I can't.
Serialized television.
I cannot do the CBS drama, dude. I cannot fucking do it. I can't do the whole really good-looking people with problems that I don't give a
like,
fuck
well,
about.
I can't
dude.
watch Law and Order and.
Law and Order's good because it's like actually like
No,
they
but see,
talk.
I watched too much SVU back in the day, man.
SVU is a little bit different, but like the original Law and Order was good because they actually use procedural stuff. But yeah, it's all dramatic. It's all dramatized. You know, it's just the level of drama that you're looking for, right? Like NCIS, CSI, the original CSI, or CSI Miami.
Yeah.
Those shows are so like just off fucking kilter and just they're not even. I imagine it must be fun to write for those shows because you're like, I really don't have to worry too much about believability.
Yeah.
You know, I can just fucking kind of go off, which is fun. But when I liked the original Law and Order, the first like 20 seasons or whatever, because they actually, it was as realistic as you could be with a drama, I guess, more procedural and whatnot.
But then you have things like King Shark defeating Gorilla Grodd and Flash saying "Long live the king." No, and honestly, again, I love that there was a pulpy like kaiju fight at the end of this episode because it's promising. Like with a name like that, it's telling you they're gonna fight.
You better fucking have a goddamn.
And it looked fine. I think it looked pretty good for a CW show. So yeah, props to them. It was an entertaining episode. But again, this is the same reason I stopped watching because I keep saying again. I watched bits and pieces of the first season. I watched like maybe 2 seasons of Arrow.
I've seen bits and pieces of almost every CW like superhero show except for I think Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I know of it. I know enough of it to know what it's about and who's in it. I've never seen any Stargirl. I don't think that show would be because it always occurred to me like why didn't I watch like Smallville? Because like Legend or like Agents of Shield, those are 2 TV shows that had live action versions of characters that I grew up loving in comic books. But for me, just going like I can Google like the image of like what Hawkman looks like in Smallville or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have to watch the whole show or arc, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't sit and watch through those fucking arcs because it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
You're just so
especially
overwrought.
Smallville because it's like a teen drama.
Yeah. So,
but
again, it's great eye candy because again, everybody in it is good looking, which is great.
Yes. Yeah, that is funny because it, like I keep saying, superhero soap opera is what it feels like. And you know what? People say that pro wrestling is a soap opera.
It is.
I like that. So I'm a sucker for that shit. Like there are parts of this episode that I really liked and I think were pretty successful. And then there are other parts where I'm like, oof.
Yeah.
Oof. And so much of it feels like filler. And
yeah.
Because they're making 24 episodes of a 45-minute television show.
Yes.
Like, ugh. It's rough, but it is what it is. Tyler, do you think it's time? Because I think it's time.
Is it time for the long box, baby?
It's gonna tell you
what's going on here.
It's a long box.
Taking a sip of coffee. Cup of coffee in the big time. Tyler, it is that time again. I think I should start this week.
I think you should too, you fucker.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so I recently watched the Ted prequel series on Peacock. It came out recently. It's only 7 episodes and they're like half-hour episodes, so it's a pretty quick watch. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. Because you and I kind of went back and forth and talked about this, about how Seth MacFarlane's hit or miss. And I haven't watched an episode of Family Guy in years. And I think a lot of that is because I found out he is not the writer of Family Guy, and he hasn't been for a long time. He hasn't really been on the creative team. And I think that kind of shows through with Ted, where I like the first movie. I thought the second movie was too much of like a Family Guy episode I had already seen.
Right.
And I just thought that first one was a better movie. And so I was going in having this weird opinion on it because, again, I never watched The Orville. I've heard The Orville's really good.
It's really good.
Maybe I'll give it a shot after watching this.
It's basically Star Trek with dick jokes, but better written Star Trek. You know what I mean?
I heard there's some like poignant stuff, and
there's really
and you can tell that that and Ted have been more of his focus because Family Guy just doesn't. He's just doing the voices. He's not really he's not on the writing staff or anything like that. And I think you could tell with Ted because I think it's funnier. It's cohesive enough where it doesn't rely on cutaway gags. It doesn't. Does he lean into a little bit of his stylings? Yeah, but I think it tends to work for this story. And there's some like legitimately really funny moments where I could not. The first episode, Johnny and Ted get high for the first time. And it was such a silly joke. I'm sitting there watching it, and as they're coming out of his room, Lowrider's playing in the background, and they're like in slow motion. It's like, dun, 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 and they're doing that. In the middle of that, it cuts, and it's them doing the song together and walking very slowly down the stairs, but they're like bam, 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 doing it together. It's a silly joke, but it worked. I was like, that's just one of those examples of like, I should not think this is as funny as it is. It turned out being much funnier than I expected.
Huh.
And yeah, because I'm very hit or miss with Seth MacFarlane. I like Ted. Didn't really like A Million Ways to Die in the West.
I loved it the first time I saw it, but subsequent viewings, I'm kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, I was like, this is fucking brilliant. Because it was basically like a Western where
a realistic person in a Western.
They wrote a Western with a member of the cast or a character that represented modern audiences. You know what I mean? Like the guy was basically like, you can die of anything here. Like this is why they eat this is where buffalo sauce came from. Yeah. It's because of the miners fucking not being able to fucking taste anything because they're in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like or you know all that stuff. That was funny stuff.
Sorry, I was gonna stop the show right
there
because Tyler's mom just added me on Facebook. So
who?
Your mom?
You're not joking?
No, I'm serious. She just did.
Oh,
happened right now, live on the air.
No, my mom's on Facebook a lot more than I am.
Oh no. I'm just kidding. I don't really post on Facebook at all anymore. I'm just joking.
No, it's fine.
No, to wrap up what I was saying. Ted,
wow, that sounds like a really sick burn, though. Your mom just added me on Facebook, dude.
Your mom could see my public posts.
Yep.
So I was pleasantly surprised. It's already one of the most streamed shows on Peacock. Like it broke that record in like a few days, like 3 days.
Which just goes to show you that bad taste is contagious.
Yeah. I have an open mind, Tyler. I don't know about you. Okay. What's your fucking long box?
Way back.
I don't care.
Way back in the day, when Netflix was still sending out DVDs. Let me just say this: I'm not really super great with like interpersonal relationships. So I've spent a lot of my life living alone or being alone, and so I have a lot of time to watch movies and shit. And when Netflix was still sending out DVDs, like back in the aughts, and I lived in Denver, they had like a they would recommend shit to you based on what you were watching. And I saw a lot of old and obscure movies that I still love to this day because it was recommended to me that I would have never even seen or even have heard of. And one of them, which actually became a little more mainstream, I completely forgot about this movie, but it's really, really good, and I highly recommend it to everybody listening because you probably never heard of it, but it's a movie starring Jack Black and Mos Def, and it's called Be Kind, Rewind.
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay, you have seen it. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe it's more well-known than I thought.
I love that.
I completely
love
forgot
that
about it.
fucking
That movie is fucking great, isn't
I love it.
So I finally got Max back again, and guess what movie is not on there anymore?
Funny
Funny Farm, dude. Fucking dicks. Fucking dicks. So I'm just dicking around looking at like all the movies and stuff, and I found that, and I was like, holy shit, I forgot about that. That was like one of my favorite movies from, I think it was 2006 or 7, maybe 5.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah, I don't know. But the idea is that these guys have to make all of these movies over again because they accidentally erased all the tapes.
Because one of the dudes is a conspiracy guy and tried to attack this. Like, he ran his car into this like thing and it made it magnetized.
Yeah. And so he has to. They have to remake like all these movies, and it's just the comedy is great. I forgot about the director. He's done some stuff since then, but
he did Eternal Sunshine, didn't he?
Michael Gondry. Yeah, he started off doing music videos. And he's done some really great. Yeah, he did Eternal Sunshine because that was his follow-up. Was Be Kind Rewind. But yeah, it's a great movie, and you know, Jack Black is an interesting actor and an interesting
dude
guy. All the shit that he's done. He was in Mr. Show like in the first couple episodes.
He's also in The Cable Guy early in his career, too.
Oh yeah.
The scene where they fucking do Boys in the Hood, and it's a firecracker, and there's a pizza behind his head. And he goes, "What's happening to our hood?" Oh my god, I was howling when I first I really.
The fucking movie is so good.
It's funny you bring that up because I really like that movie.
Yeah,
and it's like it got like very mixed reviews when it came out.
It's underrated,
and I thought it was pretty fun.
It's underrated because when you know, like, I think in the zeitgeist, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is still out there. You know what I mean? It's still a movie that people kind of remember, whatever. But this movie just fell under the radar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Much like, to me, I think when people think of Wes Anderson, is it Wes Anderson? Did Rushmore and shit?
Yeah.
When they think of Wes Anderson movies, they think of like Rushmore. And because it was like the next one, they kind of forget about Royal Tenenbaums, which I consider the superior movie.
The best Wes Anderson movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
No, the best one is Royal Tenenbaums.
Royal Tenen, no. As in, I don't want to see that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I failed you. That was a terrible joke. You know what? I deserve this.
Fuck you! Yeah, you kind of do.
Anything else?
No, just if you should visit your local library and learn more.
Yeah. I need to get a library card.
You need to get a library
my
card.
wife got a library card, and
she's
been listening to audiobooks and things.
You guys should go to the library together.
Take the kid. Make a day of it.
I suppose you'd have to take the kid,
yeah. Well, it's about that time.
In love with the shark man that I fucked.
Why? Is that your legacy? The world ends. Pearly gates. God says, "Tyler, how you doing?" I'm like, "Well, there's a shark man that I fucked,
and I fell in love with him."
Because you watched the King Shark versus Grodd in the Flash show.
Well, when it comes down to it, the plot of the show basically was, oops, fell in love with the shark man that I fucked. I mean, that was the plot of the show.
We don't know if she fucked him.
Well, when they were human,
maybe.
We're hoping. Because, he's only human for what? He's only human for an hour.
That's plenty of time.
For the
she was avoiding him for a while, and then they reunited, and they definitely banged after that scene.
You're right. They were making out. Somebody's pants. Somebody's hand was down somebody's pants.
You just can't deny energy, brother. And they had it.
Even when he was a shark.
And she's like, "That's so crazy. How can I hook up with you? You're a doppelganger of my dead ex-husband in another universe."
Well, that's good because I know exactly where to put my thumb up your butt. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.